A band with no faces, no interviews, no genre boundaries. Yet somehow in 2025, they're outselling mainstream icons and packing stadiums around the world. Their name? Sleep Token. If you've never heard of them, you're not alone. But that's changing fast. With their latest album even in Arcadia topping charts and their live shows selling out in minutes, Sleep Token is no longer just an underground cult. They're a full-blown phenomenon. But how does a group that refuses to show their faces or speak to the media become one of the biggest acts in the world? The answer is a mix of mystery, masterful marketing, and music that refuses to be boxed in. And the story behind it all? It's stranger and more fascinating than you might think. Sleep Token didn't come out swinging with fame or fanfare. In fact, when they first appeared in 2016, no one even knew who they were, literally. The group emerged from London under a veil of secrecy. No names, no faces, just symbols, masks, and a voice that sounded like pain wrapped in poetry. At the center of this enigma is a figure known only as Vessel. According to the band's own lore, Vessel is not just a frontman, he's a devoted servant of an ancient deity called Sleep, a god of dreams, longing, and emotion, communicated through song. That's not marketing fluff, that's their canon. Even in an age where mystery is rare, Sleep Token managed to keep theirs airtight. No press photos without masks, no interviews, no offstage identities revealed. They didn't just create music, they built a myth, and that myth became a magnet. Fans didn't just listen to the band, they joined a ritual, a shared experience, where the music, not the musicians, took center stage. But the mystery was only the beginning. Try to put Sleep Token into a box, and that box will explode in your hands. One moment, they sound like ambient R&B, soaked in vulnerability. The next, they're slamming you with gent-style riffs and guttural screams. Then suddenly, piano ballads, synth-heavy drops, gospel harmonies. No warning, no limits, and somehow, it works. Their 2025 album, even in Arcadia, is the most extreme example yet. It's not just genre blending, it's genre demolition. Tracks like Emergent swirl between soft, whispered vocals and crushing breakdowns, while Caramel leans so far into radio-friendly pop that some fans thought it was a prank. But it wasn't. This is what Sleep Token does. They shift, evolve, and challenge what a band is supposed to sound like. It's part musical experimentation, part emotional exorcism. Their sound is built on contrast. Heavy and soft, sacred and profane, rage and surrender. To some, it's chaotic. To others, it's pure genius. And in 2025, that chaos has found its moment. Because no one else sounds like this. But their rise didn't just come from their sound. It came from something even harder to fake: momentum. For years, Sleep Token hovered just beneath the surface, beloved by a loyal cult following but mostly ignored by the mainstream. Then, Even in Arcadia dropped in May 2025, and everything changed. The album didn't just debut at #1 in the UK, it dominated the conversation across continents. In the US, it's projected to open at #1 on the Billboard 200, with over 120,000 units sold in the first week. That's not just success, that's superstardom. And their tour? Chaos, in the best way. The 2025 Arcadia tour sold out major. Arenas within hours. We're talking venues that metal bands rarely even attempt. London, Paris, Tokyo, New York. Gone in minutes. Scalpers were flipping pit tickets for more than front-row seats at pop concerts. And they're not just appearing, they're headlining. Sleep Token was the surprise main act at Download Festival and stole the show at Rock am Ring. Reviewers are calling their performances religious experiences, part concert, part catharsis. The visuals? Otherworldly. The atmosphere? Sacred. And Vessel? A force of nature cloaked in mystery and ritual. By mid-2025, it became clear. Sleep Token wasn't just rising. They had arrived. But not everyone was thrilled. With great fame comes great backlash, and Sleep Token's rise has stirred up plenty of it. While Even in Arcadia smashed records, not all longtime fans were applauding. Many felt the band had strayed too far from their darker, heavier roots. Gone were the haunting, guttural breakdowns and crushing weight that defined their early sound. In their place, polished pop hooks, and experimental beats. Some called it evolution. Others called it selling out. Metal purists especially weren't shy about voicing their disappointment. Social media lit up with debates over whether Sleep Token had abandoned the very genre that embraced them first. Forums filled with arguments. Is this still metal? Is it even rock? Pitchfork's review didn't help either. They praised the album's ambition but questioned its cohesion, calling it bold but disjointed. Harsh words considering the band had just reached new creative and commercial heights, and yet, the controversy only made them bigger. The more people argued, the more people listened. Curiosity turned into streams. Doubt turned into downloads. Sleep Token had stumbled into the most effective marketing strategy of all: polarization. You either love them or you don't. And either way, you're talking about them. But while critics were divided, fans were rallying behind something even deeper than the music. Most bands drop a single and post about it. Sleep Token? They drop cryptic puzzles, hidden websites, and encrypted messages, then vanish into silence. Their marketing isn't loud. It's sacred. Before Even in Arcadia was even announced, fans began discovering strange symbols online. A hidden countdown. QR codes at shows. Websites that led nowhere. Until they suddenly did. Every breadcrumb felt intentional. Every teaser felt like part of a larger prophecy. And fans ate it up. The Sleep Token community doesn't just follow the band. They worship the experience. They call live shows rituals. They call Vessel a vessel for something beyond understanding. It's not fandom, it's devotion. And the band feeds that devotion with mystery. No behind-the-scenes content, no meet-the-band interviews. Just art, sound, and silence. This mystique fuels connection. Ironically, the less the band says, the more fans talk. Reddit threads dig into lyrics like scripture. TikTok creators decode visuals like it's a cult thriller. The lore grows, without needing constant updates. In 2025, with everyone else oversharing to stay relevant, Sleep Token's refusal to explain anything has made them the loudest whisper in music. But one mystery refuses to die. Who is the voice behind the mask? The question has haunted fans for years. Who is Vessel? The voice behind Sleep Token is haunting, emotional, and unmistakable. But the man behind the mask remains officially unnamed. No slip-ups, no accidental reveals. Just a consistent silence that only deepens the obsession. Still, the internet never sleeps. Some fans believe Vessel is Leo George Faulkner, a British musician with a similar vocal range and writing style. The theory picked up steam after fans found connections between Faulkner's old projects and early Sleep Token demos. But nothing's ever been confirmed. No denials, no confirmations, just speculation. And honestly, that's exactly how Sleep Token wants it. This commitment to anonymity isn't a gimmick. It's the band's foundation. By erasing ego and identity, they let the music speak louder. Vessel isn't a celebrity. He's a conduit. A voice for something ancient, wounded, and worshipped. Whether the Faulkner theory is true or not almost doesn't matter anymore. Vessel has become more symbol than person, more presence than personality, and in an industry obsessed with faces, clout, and followers, Sleep Token dares to be faceless. But as they soar to new heights, one question still lingers. What's next? Sleep Token was never meant to fit the mold. And in 2025, it's clear. They've shattered it completely. They're not just a band. They're not just a brand. They're a movement, a ritual, a living myth that challenges everything we think we know about modern music. In an era addicted to exposure, they chose mystery. In a genre obsessed with labels, they chose freedom. And in a culture built on personalities, they chose to disappear behind the art. Even in Arcadia may be the peak of their success, for now. But if there's one thing we've learned, it's that Sleep Token never stays in one place for long. They evolve, they vanish, they return changed. Where they go next? No one knows. But one thing is certain, the world will be watching and listening. So, who is Sleep Token? Maybe we'll never fully know, but that's exactly why we can't stop listening. If this video pulled you deeper into the mystery, make sure to hit like, and if you've got your own theories, drop them in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the artists shaking up the music world. Because this is just the beginning.